2 days later, and what could have been is still being shown on the scoreboard here at Kroger Field. It stings, but it shows growth.
You've been playing on a partially injured ankle, and you still had 27 points and 20 rebounds today.
20 rebounds?
Yeah.
Mark Stoops sat down with Eli Cox and asked, am I missing something? Something that would have predicted Saturday's performance. Kentucky's loss to South Carolina was unexpected. Mark Stoops says they own it. Now they just have to improve.
Every person that touched the ball for Bunnell made an impact in this game. How important was that to win today?
Scott Castle and his twin brother Jeff Castle grew up loving and playing Magoffin County basketball. They were players together for the Hornets in the late 1980s, and while they never made it to Rupp Arena together as players, they were here together this morning, but rooting for opposing teams. I have puzzling and progress because the first game that they played against Southern Miss was canceled in the third quarter, so they didn't get full reps, so we couldn't fully see what a full game in this Kentucky squad looked like. Then they were embarrassed by South Carolina.
Every time you knocked down a three, this crowd ignited. How much did your fans help you here today?
Yesterday's chaos ahead of Kentucky football's season opener was one of a kind. There was rain, then sun, then more rain, and a lot of lightning, all creating a recipe for kickoff to start at 10:05. This is Noah Cross, a three-sport athlete at Belfry Middle School.
Noah was the type of kid that didn't like making mistakes. He liked to do everything well, and he liked to do it to the best of his ability. So sometimes whenever he made a mistake, he was really hard on himself.
He was a hard-nosed player, a tough player, and he was very fierce and very competitive.
Noah was a defensive end and fullback on the football field, a power forward on the hardwood, and a third baseman on the baseball diamond. A fiery competitor in all three sports, yes, but Noah was much, much more to everyone he met.
He was a goon, he was goofy. He would talk to everybody. He was polite, respectful to all of our teachers. He was a role model.
He always told me that he loved me. He always thanked me.
The first day he met you, it was, I love you. You know, every day I saw it, I love you, Coach, I love you. And it was immediate. He lived a miraculous life because you don't meet people like that every day.
On April 5th, Noah died from a sudden case of meningitis. He was 14 years old. Left to face this unimaginable loss together, the Belfry community is remembering Noah through his favorite devotional, Psalm 46:10.
He called it Power 46, and that was his favorite play, and it was his also the wording of that particular verse that meant so much to him.
Words that translate to trusting in God, no matter what is going on around you, now become the words to carry on Noah's legacy.
That's something I have to do. Like, all the positivity he brought, like, people don't do that. Like, that's like once in a 1,000 years type of thing. But yeah, I feel like I need to step up my role and bring positivity and just be how he was.
It really reminded you of why you do what you do. You know, you could have a bad day, you know, you could be discouraged, it could be a bad point in the season, you know, and then Noah shows up and it just makes everything better. And, you know, I'm really going to miss that.
It says a lot about the legacy that he's leaving behind for us to carry, and hopefully we do pick it up and carry it. That we are a light in our community, that we are a light on our own football team, or wherever it is that God places us, that we stand out and we do what God wants us to do. And that's one thing that Noah always did. You know, he always stood up. He always did the right thing. He always showed us and modeled with, you know, to us how to conduct ourselves and stuff. And so that's what we need to do now.
In Belfry, Audrey Hausberger, WYMT Mountain Sports. Phil Cox, 1981 Mr. Kentucky Basketball.
Pure shooter.
Nick Sanford, all-time leading scorer at Lincoln Memorial. Charles Thomas, 1995 Mr. Kentucky Basketball. Trent Noah, Harlan County's new all-time leading scorer. Generations stand between these 4 Harlan County athletes, but they all have stamped their names in the Harlan County basketball history books during the last 40-plus years.
I remember my dad was just a freshman, and Nick was getting all these letters from colleges, and like he was just so many, like he couldn't even open them all. And my dad would go through as a freshman with his friends and just read them, and it was just the coolest thing ever.
The letter openings was one of many stories Noah heard about the county legends that came before him. Before this basketball season, Cox, Sanford, and Thomas were just that to Noah, stories, until the senior Black Bear shook hands with the man who held the Harlan County scoring record for 29 years before Noah broke it last Saturday.
He was just telling me congratulations, and don't let anybody take it from you because it's yours now.
There is one man who has had a front row seat to both Thomas's and Noah's achievements. Current Harlan County head coach Kyle Jones, who is kin to Noah and coached the senior for 2 seasons, and who also was an 8th grader playing for his dad, Mike Jones, at Harlan Independent when Thomas was a senior.
It's pretty crazy just to think that my father coached one of the greatest to ever play in this county, and now I'm having the opportunity to coach, you know, one of the greatest to ever play in this county. So, I mean, Charles and Trent, you know, now Trent, you know, he's kind of he's following along in those footsteps, and, you know, we've not seen a kid like Trent in 30 years.
While Jones idolized Thomas, but is a leader for Noah, he sees similarities between both players.
You know, how kids looked up to him growing up, me included, you know, wanting to inspire to be like him as a basketball player. It's the same circumstance with Trent today. You get to see that, you know, special player, humble kid in a small town, and then kids, you know, come to the games and want his autograph. It was the same situation when Charles was coming through.
With all the rich basketball tradition which lives in the community, is Trent Noah the best product to come out of Harlan County?
I mean, I like to say hopefully I am. I mean, I don't like to put anybody in front of me because like I try to have that confidence and stuff, but I haven't really seen all those older guys and clips and games from them. So honestly, I couldn't really tell you.
I'm going to say he is because I'm coaching him, you know, so he's more special to me.
Noah passed Thomas in career points, but the former scoring champ has something the new champ is chasing, a trip to Rupp Arena representing Harlan County as 13th region champions.
He'll never be forgotten. He'll never be forgotten. You know, one of these days, his jersey will be in the rafters here. He's going to look back, you know, 20 years from now and realize probably how special of a time this was for him and his family.
In Harlan County, Audrey Hausberger, WYMT Mountain Sports. Next Kentucky possession, 4th and 7, Vandegrift. He's at his best outside the pocket, finds Key, who hurdles over a man like Sidney McLaughlin, the Roni. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That sets up Sumo Karngbe for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Now, the Cats did struggle shooting from beyond the arc early, and the Mavericks took advantage. Drew Daniel, a huge 3-ball, makes it 22-20 Cats lead. But here comes Trent Noah, who cans the tray, his only points of the game.